Well, guys, it seems like Amber deliberately kept away from the church or from any council at all. So let's get into it.
Are you all right?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I just couldn't come back to church, you know. I don't want to come back to church without Anthony and without my child and having all these people ask me all these questions. It's just too much.
So let's set the record straight. So in other words, really and truly, it wasn't that Pastor Chris wasn't trying to reach out to her. It's that Amber was trying to be away from Pastor Chris. In other words, she has neglected the calls or any of those things.
I'm sorry that I've avoided your call.
These type of things by yourself. You know, we're here for you. And then on top of that, Amber, you know, we're friends. You know, so for you just to go ghost and not say anything and not respond to my calls, the church's calls, I mean, you're a vital part of our ministry. And
Yeah, I just,
So-
I guess I figured you've probably talked to Anthony by now, and I don't know, I just kind of didn't want to share the same counsel, if you will.
oh yeah, I talked to Anthony. He showed
Yeah, but what's wrong with that? Hold on. What's wrong with that? You actually want to share the same counsel with somebody else because you want to know what he's thinking based on what he's saying. So you actually want to know that. So actually, this wasn't a wise move on Amber's part. You really do want to share somewhat of the same counsel because that would tell you the innermost things as to what he's thinking.
me, shared with me everything that was going on, and he told me what he did. And of course, I was disappointed. And but I'm thinking, I mean, do you think there's any hope?
What?
I mean,
Why do you and Mama Brenda keep trying to push me back on this man who committed adultery?
wait.
So he didn't happen to tell you that he had a baby with her?
He had a baby?
Right.
Wait. Anthony had a baby.
A whole baby.
So he never told Pastor Chris that he had an actual baby. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's shocking news.
A whole baby who's several months old now. Which means right after you wed us, he starts sleeping with this girl. And y'all want me to get back with him.
I'm not saying get back with him. I'm just saying again, maybe just say, Lord, what's your will? So, God, what's your will?
Well, the Bible says that I can leave him for adultery, and that's what I'm doing. That's my will.
All right, and that's where I get a little bit, very precarious about how Amber is going about it. Now, I understand she does have the wherewithal to actually get herself a divorce. She does have that. She does have the right. If she wants to get a divorce, she can. No, but when you start going about things and you're saying, my will, be very cautious. Generally, that's the time that you're probably going to have another downfall. So I get very weary when people say, it's me, I'm going to force my way through. I get I slow down, hold on, allow the spirit to guide you as you go along. So I do understand what Pastor Chris is saying and Mama Brenda is saying. I don't think they're asking Amber to definitively say, okay, get back into this relationship. I think what they're saying is the same thing that we are saying, which is, Amber, maybe you want to take some more time and just get your thoughts together first. I think that's what they're saying. Now, of course, hey, the divorce is the divorce. It already happened. It already served. But we're just talking in hindsight here and foresight. You understand? We're looking at how they're perceiving it. These are just older people who are saying, hey, maybe you want to slow down. Maybe some counseling. Maybe sit down and get a little bit of counseling first. And then from the counseling, you go from there to the next point. And then after the counseling, if you decide that, you know what, that's it, then that's it. But they really never have sat down and gone to counseling after all of this. All had happened is a one-sided story. Both of them sit down in a little kitchen, right? And try to talk about this entire thing. And as I've said before, that's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it for Anthony at all, and it definitely won't cut it at all for Amber. So that's my take on it, and I think that's what Mama Brenda and Pastor Chris is trying to say, but hey, in not so many words. But hey, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Expeditiously, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to talk to you all soon.